Okay, welcome to week one of Infinite Eckhart. So today we'll be going through the power of presence and why is it important, what the hell is it, all that stuff. So the present moment, it's so important to find the present moment because if we're worrying about the future, if we're thinking about the future, that creates anxiety. If we're thinking about the past, that can create depression. So being present is about being fully engaged in the moment, moment by moment, and letting life unfold without judgment or resistance. We judge everything, like when something happens, maybe you go for a job and then you get rejected. Your mind will start judging that. It's bad. Oh my God, I'm a failure. Like just feeling that sense of rejection. But then if you had a job interview the week after and then you got hired and then you're feeling all good and etc. and I'm accepted, I've got approval. But then does that make that previous rejection bad if this new job is actually better for you? And it's about letting each moment unfold without judgment or without resistance and just trusting the unfolding of life, because this moment right now is the only moment we have. We can't get to the past, it's happened. We can't get to the future, and the future only exists in a thought in our head. And when we're in the future, we will be experiencing it in the now. And this is what Eckhart Tolle teaches, that now is the only moment. This present moment is the only moment because you can't get to the past and the future. So if we're living in our minds, we're never fully enjoying this moment, not right now. We're never enjoying the things that we're doing. We're always trying to get somewhere, we're always trying to make this present moment, we're trying to get away from it to get to a moment that we perceive is going to be better. And it creates a bit of a trap because then we're always chasing this future moment which never fully arrives. You may get fleeting moments of happiness, but then when you get that happiness, then the mind's going to kick in again. And when the mind kicks in again, then you're not feeling good enough, you're in lack, and then you're thinking that there's another future moment. And that's why we always need more and more money, bigger and bigger things, spend more and more, to keep thinking that this next thing will make us happier. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong with having material possessions and everything like that. But if we're focusing on those things that we need to find happiness in them, that we think will be happier if we have a Rolex or more money, etc., then it's a trick, because when we get there, we then find that we want more. Okay, so it's about, we want to find a balance between being able to have all that stuff, but actually being able to enjoy the moment now and the process. And then our happiness isn't dependent on that. This is an Eckhart Tolle quote. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. And he really emphasizes the fact that the present moment is all we have. And that needs to be the primary focus of our life. Because if we can make being present, the primary focus of our life, everything else will fall into place. But if we're focusing on the external stuff and living in the future and the past, trying to find happiness, we'll always be chasing it. So make this the primary focus of your life, and then all that stuff can happen and we can enjoy it. And this journey that you're about to embark on isn't about adding stuff. It's not about getting more confident. It's not about overcoming your fears. It's not about adding stuff to your personality or needing to change. It's actually about letting go of what you're not. And then you'll naturally become more confident. You'll naturally become more fearless. Because the only thing that's blocking us from living our purpose and our passions is our mind. It's the thoughts in your head that are being like, you can't do it. The thoughts are saying that you're socially anxious or you're this and that. And they're actually putting limits on ourselves. But if we didn't have thoughts, we would just go fully into whatever we're doing. Like if you're in a competition, if athletes went in with no thoughts, just said they didn't have any thoughts, they would just play because they love it, and they would just play with wild abandonment and they would probably play amazing because of that. Whereas the only time you see athletes, their performance get affected is when they start feeling the pressure to win. When they start feeling like, oh my God, I missed 2 shots. And then the thoughts start ramping up, and then they start listening to those thoughts, and then they just go downhill. And this is what we want in life. We have those thoughts around business, around our passions. How many times have we thought about something that, wow, I'd love to do that. That feels so good to do. And then the thoughts are like, well, no one's going to like that. I can't do it. Other people can do it. I'm not good enough to do that. And we limit ourselves. So this whole journey is about being able to become aware of those thoughts that are constantly running in our head. And then we can focus on being in the now instead of lost in our mind and in our thoughts. And it's the only place real change can happen. It's the only place real change can happen. For me, I was in the self-help industry for like 15 years, reading book after book after book, course after course after course, trying to fix myself. And then I realized that you can do all the healings you want, you can read a book and then feel amazing, and you can do all this stuff. But if you still listen to your thoughts, all those problems are going to come back again. All of those problems will come back again. And so this is why it's so important. If we can become aware of our thoughts, if we can become aware of the thoughts that are limiting us, that's when we can truly change. We can start enjoying the present moment, enjoying the now, and actually change. Because it's, someone can say like, oh, I've had a massive healing and I'm a completely different person. And then the same thing will happen 6 months later. So there wasn't like true deep change. Whereas if we can become aware of our thoughts, we can stop the patterns coming up again. We can finally break free from our limitations. Okay, and this is what this course is going to be about. It's a gentle process. It's an effortless process. Don't think that it requires hard work. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It can be difficult to observe our thoughts sometimes, but we're going to work through it. Okay, we're going to be doing some meditations. We're going to be doing some journaling, and it can, add it into the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like, still pursue your work goals and pursue all that, but trust that focusing on this will help all that everything you want to achieve, everything you desire, is more likely to happen and better than you can ever imagine if you find presence, if you find the power of now, the power of the present moment.